Where's my system dragging? Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our weekly market outlook, where we look at the financial instruments. We look at the forex market, basically, look for trading opportunities in the market. We pay attention to the fundamental reports and then see how we can or what we should be paying attention to in terms of the fundamentals as to when we might want to probably stay away or be more aggressive on all of those fancy stuff. And then more importantly, we'll look at the charts and look for trade opportunities based on our style of trading. Because to jump straight into it, so we are on Forex Factory. So forexfactory.com is the site where one of the sites where you could get fundamental reports, right? So you could get fundamental news reports when they're happening, the impacts, whether it's high impact or low impact, you'll be able to get all of those information basically by looking at the forexfactory.com. Now, I filtered mine such that it only pays attention to medium impact to high impact news. Now, looking at this, you'd see that today is November 7th, today is Monday, November 7th, and today we don't have much reports, much fundamental news coming out. By 9:40 a.m., which has actually gone past, we had the ECB as the European Central Bank President. He spoke as regarding, economic policies. Now, this, unlike some other reports where there are actual values, this type of reports is basically whether analysts are looking at if the report is bullish or is dovish or hawkish. That means if they are being aggressive and they are more confident, then it's good. If they are more reserved, then it's kind of maybe negative implication for the instrument. But for the rest of the week, tomorrow, Tuesday, there is a number of reports. There's the NZD inflation. There's also, reports from CHF. There's also the Aussie reports. The Reserve Bank of Australia would also be speaking. And then in the US, there's the congressional election. So that is also something to keep in mind. Depending on how that is proceeding, we might see some reaction in the markets. Okay, for Wednesday, there is nothing. So Wednesday is blank. There are no major implication or news reports whatsoever. And then on Thursday, there's also, so Thursday and Friday are the two key ones for me. So Thursday, there's about there's a CPI report, there's a CPI, the core CPI from the US, and then there's also the FOMC master speak. The member of the FOMC Mester, he will be speaking, so we'll see how that goes. And then on Friday, by 8 a.m., the GDP report will be released from the pound, that's from the UK, and we'll see it's forecasted to come out at negative 0.4%, and we'll see if it comes out better or worse than that. I'm actually anticipating it comes out better than this, so we'll probably see if we see the GDP or the GBP continue to strengthen. Okay. So pay attention to those while you're looking to trade. Figure out when those high impact news are coming out to probably limit your exposure to the market to avoid being on the wrong side of the trend. Okay. Now let's go straight into the charts. So we go over to the chart. I usually like to begin by looking at the DXY. So the DXY is, it measures the strength of the dollar against the major baskets. Now, what you notice is there's an inverse correlation between the DXY and the EURUSD, right? So EURUSD has been bullish for a while. Has been bearish for a while. DXY has been bullish. So a stronger dollar means the Euro-USD pair continues to depreciate. Similar to pound-USD pair, we continue to see an appreciation in USD CAD, USD CHF instruments. Now, let me slow down a bit. So you could see that the DXY has been bullish. We've been on this for several weeks. We've been talking about this. It's been bullish. And usually in a bullish market, we anticipate continual bullishness, right? So what I mean by that is in a bullish market, price predominantly tends to make new highs. So it tends to take out previous highs, make a higher high, make a higher low, makes a higher high, right? Make a higher low. So it just keeps repeating this sort of pattern, making higher highs and higher lows. Now, however, from this low here, price made this high, which is obviously in continuation of the overall bullish trend. And I say what the price did, it made a low, right, which is higher, and you'd anticipate for this to go on and make a higher high, just as price has been doing for the past couple of months. Now, what we saw is price made a high and then make a low. So it has made a low. So it has broken inside structure. Now, while this does not shift the overall bias of the DXY to now full-blown bearishness, you have to understand that there is appearing to be a structural shift. However, this was the last area. So let me just pick up my brush tool. So this was the last low, right? This low down here. I hope you can see that this low down here was responsible for forming this high, right? So that means between this region here, the market is bullish. As far as price does not go below this low, as a matter of fact, as far as price does not go below this low and break it even further, there is a high probability that price would continue to go up and take out this high here. So we have to keep that in mind. However, we also have to pay attention to the structure, the inside structure of how price is delivering for us. Notice how since making this high, price has made a low, made a lower high, made another lower low, and now made a lower high. So if price continues to make lower low and then probably takes out this low, we could see the dollar begin to weaken significantly, right? Now, it might not be as much as I just drew out here, but that could signify the beginning of the reversal that is probably long overdue. Now, if we go over to EURUSD, so let's go over to instruments we can actually trade. Go over to the EURUSD. So for those of you who are on the Telegram channel, I don't know how many of you on the Telegram channel, you know that I sent out a trade idea, I think it was on Thursday. We got into a beautiful trade on EURUSD. And so for those of you who have not funded your accounts, please do fund your account and join and ask your account manager to add you to the Telegram channel so you can also be able to take advantage of trade ideas, trade signals, exclusive trainings, and lots more. Now, similar to, just like I mentioned, DXY, the dollar has been strong. So this has been inversely proportional. Price has been making lower lows and lower highs. And I drew out this channel, right? So you could see this. So let me just see if I can. So you could see this more or less bearish movement in price. And I did mention the fact that at this point, price began to make some sort of a bullish channel. Now, this doesn't mean that the market is going to go full-blown bullish, at least not in my opinion. Price needs to clear this high. So this is the high that buyers need to clear if they really are interested in reversing price. However, we're able to catch a very nice trade setup here. I don't know how many of you were able to get that. So let's go down to the 1 hour chart here. You could see our entry. It was based off on the fact that price had initially broken above structure and started making this. So if I just zoom to the left or zoom out to the left, you'd see how the market was moving in this or moved in this bullishness, right? So making higher highs, higher lows, a new higher high, right? So we started anticipating price to make a new higher low to go and make a new higher high. So which is why our target is here. Price tapped into our entry and has since pushed away from that point. So this trade is looking quite good. We are probably up, I think about 170, 180 pips already on this one. And the final target for me is around 1.0010. So around 1.0010, which is somewhere around here, is the primary target for this. Now, I still anticipate that we could see this breakout higher. And then when it does, we'll be looking for, I would even be looking for and probably sending out trade ideas on how to continue buying. Now, because obviously this is weekly market outlook, we are looking for opportunities for the week, not just the ones that we have taken in the previous week. Now, what would I be looking for in the week? Now, two things, right? So EURUSD, I'm actually paying attention to two things for the week. Now, I'm still bullish on this one, at least still around 1.0010. So I could look for buying, I'll probably be looking for buying opportunities around this area. So if price comes down here, I will be interested in looking for a potential buy opportunity if price comes toward any of this area. So let me just push this to the side, right? And push this to the side as well. Now, if price were to find its way back down, this also, let's drift you here. And that's done. Okay, so if price were to just so we can have more room to work with. So this TP1 and TP2 hits. Now, two things I'll be looking out for, mostly what I'll be looking out for on EURUSD going into the week is some sort of, so if price pulls back down, so at the beginning of the day, I was actually anticipating maybe we see price come back down here. I will still be interested in buying price and taking it up, right? So I'm bullish on this within this section here to try and take price to this previous high that price has made here. So there is a good chance price might not make this deep pullback. It might just pull back into this region and then begins to trade higher. So keep that in mind. I'm bullish on EURUSD, looking for setups to continue to buy on this one. Okay. Now, also we want to look at USDJPY. So I also sent out a very, we had a very beautiful trade also on Friday on USDJPY and still running. So USDJPY, for those of you on the Telegram channel, again, you would remember this trade setup. I sent it out on, I think it was on Friday morning. We had price come into this area. At the time, price was above here and we set a pending buy stop below here. Now, price has since begun to respect our structure and is breaking down. Now, this morning, unfortunately, I didn't send this one out, but this morning, I was looking to get involved again, and I got involved in another sell position because price is bearish. So this is the idea. What we basically tend to do is follow the structure of price. You can see how the market broke down here, right? We had this break of structure here. Again, price broke down here again. So we had this secondary break of structure. And so we were just looking for a continuation bearish. And so when price came into this area, we started looking for selling opportunity to sell. And that gave us another break of structure here. You could see how price broke this low here. So basically, we are looking slightly bearish, at least up until this point here. So I am already in two positions. I'll probably look to, I'll probably not look to get involved again because I'm already quite positioned on this one. But on USDJPY for the week, I am bearish, looking for selling opportunity within this region. Now, if you missed the entry, maybe look for a retracement into something like around the 147.45 area and look for a sell towards the 145.69 area. So a trade something like this might not be such a bad idea. Stop loss just above this high, right? And then your targets still down at this low. Right, so at least this would be a 1:4 if we're correct. So look for a pullback and then a continuation in this bearish momentum. Okay, now the next pair I also would want to talk about is gold. So XAU-USD. So gold is also another interesting one. I was waiting, looking. This morning I was hoping price would give me an entry, but it didn't give me the entry yet. So let's look at the daily charts first. So we go up to the daily charts. What you notice is you see that price has been bearish. The market has been bearish and is still very much bearish. However, notice how price is struggling to go lower, right? Similar to EURUSD, the market has been in a bearish channel. But notice that price is struggling to make any new lows. And also has broken away from this trend line. So you could see how we have this area. So look, you could see how this area, you see how price respected this area from here, right? We also had another touch here. We had a bounce from here and here as well, right? And then you had another bounce from here and also a bounce from here. So you see price has been respecting this area. And the last time we came back to this resistance level, you see how price rejected it. There was a slight break above and a pullback. I think we got on this trade. Some of you should remember. And now you could see how we are appearing to break out of this region. Now, this level is critical. If price successfully breaks this level, we could see the gold begins to appreciate maybe significantly. It might not necessarily come back up here, but we could see some sort of 38.6 and 38.2 or maybe the 50.0 feet retracement level from maybe this high up here down to this low down here. So that is one to definitely keep in mind. For gold for today, so let me just take this away. Okay, so for gold, if we go down to the 1 hour chart here, so let's look at the 1 hour chart and look at the structure. Notice how price has broken above, also broken this level here. So price is looking quite bullish, right? And I was looking to get involved here, but price did not retrace to me. I think that was on the 5-minute chart. Now, here's one thing to pay attention to. I think price was around here. At the time, I was wanting to see a retracement before looking to buy, right? And then price, decided to do what it wants to do, which is what price always does, right? Okay. Now, I am, just as you can see my illustration show, I am watching to see if we get some sort of pullback into this area, this red area that I highlighted, and then I'll look for bullish confirmation, maybe a candlestick setup, a trend line break, or a counter trend line break, or even Y curve accumulation schematics to try and buy this up. So I am bullish on Euro USD, bullish on gold, bullish on GBP USD, basically bearish Euro USDJPY, and bullish gold as well for the week, right? And like I highlighted in those areas, my targets on gold. My primary target would be these highs for price to come up and liquidate those highs. But I would like to get involved if price were to find its way back down here to give me an entry. Some other thing you can do is just maybe use your FIB tool and just go from low to high and figure out the FIB retracement level you might be interested in trading. Price could very well bounce up from the 38.6 or maybe 38.2, sorry, or bounce away from the 5.0 or the 618. But personally, I will be anticipating to see if we get a deep retracement into the 78.2 and 78.6 FIB level, just like you can see highlighted here. So you can see how we have this break above here. We also have this break above here. So I'd like to see if we can continue to, if price can give me if I can get a better price to buy, a lower price, then I'll look to get involved buying to take price even higher. Okay, so Euro AUD would be the next, probably the last one I would want to talk about here before I start entertaining your questions. So Euro AUD, let's look at the setup. So if you look at the daily charts, if you look at the daily chart here, you'll see basically my idea, right? Notice how we have this break. So this is daily chart. We have this breakout of this overall structure. We also have this inside break. So there are several breaks within this structure, which price has liquidated, more or less showing us its hand, right? Now, however, this move is a big move, right? And the retracements could be deep or not, right? So the retracements could be quite deep. So the overall direction for me on this one is bullish, right? However, I'm looking at the potential opportunity to maybe sell before looking to get involved in the buy. So let's go down a little bit to look at the smaller time frame. So if we go down to the 60 minutes, so that's the 1 hour time frame, you will notice that price is beginning to shift bearish, right? At least within this time frame. See how the market is, we had this break of structure here. My lines are not very straight, but you get the idea. That is break of structure here. We also had this break of structure here, and then obviously these two that are highlighted. So predominantly, price I was actually, unfortunately, very sad. I had this burnout this morning. I wanted to sell from within this area, but then we had our office meeting, our weekly Monday meetings, and I did not get involved in this trade. But it's still the valid setup. I'm interested in taking price down toward this level here. It's a quite I like this setup, right? So if you go down to the 15-minute time frame, what we can do now is begin to look for opportunity, right? So this was an opportunity. We didn't get involved. What I would like to see is this. So let me even go down to the 5-minute time frame. Now, if price were to, so let me just draw out some regions so that it's clearer. I would want to keep this area in mind, keep this red area that I just drew out now in mind. Because if price were to give us a retracement into this area, I will be interested in looking for potential confirmation to sell and then take this higher. Now, if I do get that kind of entry, it will be something like this, where my stop loss would be just above this high, depending on how the setup forms, or most likely just above the structure that gave me the confirmation. But let's just say we are conservative, just above this high. And my targets would be at least this low, but more likely I will be targeting not just that low. So let's even go to higher to the 15-minute time frame, this low down here, right? So I'll be targeting an entry from within this region to try and take price down to around 152.69. So I'm looking for an entry around 154.72. Stop loss just above 154.98, and my target would be 152.69 and 152.70 region. So like the setup of this, would be interested in looking for and trying to get involved in a trade. And once I find confirmation that suits my criteria. And then I think last but not least, EURUSD. So EURUSD, I've been waiting for this retracement, right? I've been waiting for this retracement on this one for a while. Let's see if we'll get it. So this might be a fine setup, obviously depending on looking at where it is. So if you look at the 15-minute chart here, you see that yes, surely the market is bullish and all. But this one is a more riskier trade because we're trading, basically we're looking for opportunities against the trend, right? But here is what you can do. You can look for selling opportunities if and only if price takes out this low. So if price closes below this low here, so this is the 15-minute time frame. If price closes below this low, maybe look for a retracement, look to sell that, keep your stop loss just above these highs, and then your targets can be, this lows down here or even lower lows, right? So look for, first of all, watch for a confirmation, look for price to break below this low. The reason you're waiting for that is because you don't want to now you don't want to now get involved too early, right? Allow price to decide. If price breaks below this low, then you can look to sell, keep your stop loss just above that area, so something like this. So price breaks below, maybe you look to sell on the retracement, keep your stop loss just above there, and you can look to target lower prices. So we can now go up to the higher time frame to figure out our proper targets. We can then go after this low here, right? And that would not be a bad trade at all because, in terms of pip wise, that should be not just about 100 pips, and risk to reward ratio to be about 1:3.5. So not so bad, but we just need to wait for confirmation to be able to find our spot selling opportunities on this one. Okay, so I think those are the instruments I quickly wanted to point out and highlight for our weekly market outlook session for today. Remember, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 11 a.m., we have our cutting edge trading room where we spot live trading opportunities against all the instruments. Okay. Okay, so I know some of you might have questions. Maybe you want me to look at, I'll probably be able to take a number of